The DA has called for a snap debate in the National Assembly this afternoon to focus on the continued DNA backlog at the National Forensic Science Laboratories. DA spokesperson on police and MP Andrew Whitfield says they've been raising the alarm for years about the escalating crisis and its impact on the work of the South African police services. He says the backlog stands at more than 200,000 cases. Whitfield says the DA previously asked Police Minister Bheki Cele and National Police Commissioner General Khehla Sitole to investigate partnerships with private laboratories to address the matter. But this has not happened. He says some of the samples are linked to thousands of murders and rapes across the country. Let's take you live to Parliament.
To take prompt action to protect the Palestinian people. Thank you, House Chair.
Thank you. The IFP. The IFP. The Freedom Front Plus.
Honourable Chairperson.
Proceed, Honourable Member.
I'll do this on behalf of Honourable Flankwa. Today, as the IFP member responsible for the portfolio of women, children and persons with disabilities, I would like to acknowledge the essential role played by the late Queen Manfombi Dlamini Zulu as mother to the Zulu nation. She was passionate about the role and responsibilities of Zulu women and worked closely with the late King Goodwill Zwelithini Kabaka Zulu to revive traditional ceremonies like the reed dance. She was also held in extremely high regard by the young Zulu maidens who viewed her as a mother, as well as the maiden minders who guided these maidens. The Queen further hosted Umkosi Wesivivana, an annual all-women ceremony where women gather from across KwaZulu-Natal as well as neighboring Swaziland to discuss challenges that they face as women in their homes and come up with solutions. The Queen was also a champion in the fight against gender-based violence as well as substance abuse, and her wisdom and compassion will be deeply missed. In recognition of her life and work, we call upon government to redouble their efforts in the fight against gender-based violence, as well as the ongoing work to uplift the women of South Africa, especially those living in our rural areas. I thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The Freedom Front Plus.
What is unfolding in Jerusalem at the moment is a planned gathering of violent rioters led by the terrorist group Hamas and the Palestinian Authority with the goal of igniting violence and unrest in the city of Jerusalem.
Honourable Mulder. Honourable Mulder.
Part of
Honourable Mulder. Honourable Mulder.
That is being terrorist organization.
Honourable Mulder.
And
there is a disturbance. There is a member Kupane who have a microphone switched on. Honourable members on the virtual platform, please be reminded that your microphones must stay muted until you are recognized to speak or when the party is called. You're causing a disturbance in the House because the members who are participating is not audible then. Honourable Mulder, will you start again with the statement, please?
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. Chairperson, what is unfolding in Jerusalem at the moment is a planned gathering of violent rioters led by the terrorist group Hamas and the Palestinian Authority with the goal of igniting violence and unrest in the city of Jerusalem. These events are a part of a wave of terror that is being led by the terrorist organization Hamas and are the result of reckless and irresponsible incitement to violence. In recent days, rockets have been launched from Gaza and a wave of balloon attacks have caused widespread fires and severe damage. Israel has taken every measure possible to calm the situation and prevent tensions and violence. Since the unification of Jerusalem in 1967, Israel has gone to great efforts to facilitate freedom of religion and worship for all faiths in the holy city. What is happening on the ground is not a struggle for freedom of worship, it is plain terrorism. It is a pity that the South African government always finds themselves on the side opposing Israel. This is not Israel that is in breach of international law. It is the ANC government who is not respecting the sovereignty of the State of Israel. Thank you.
The ANC.
Thank you, House Chairperson. The African National Congress moves without notice that the House notes the shock and sadness, the tragic passing of a former South African rugby player, Lindani Myeni, who was shot dead by officers from the Honolulu Police Department in Hawaii following an altercation on Wednesday, 14th of April 2021. Understand that the 29-year-old Lindani had moved to the island just over a year ago with his wife, Lindsay, who is from Hawaii, and their 2 children. Recall that he was a well-respected and God-fearing man who never showed any signs of aggression. Remembers that he failed from the KZN North Coast and attended George Campbell Technical High School in Durban, as well as the Sharks Academy.
Honourable Member.
Further remembers that...
Honourable Member, we are busy with statements, and may I request the whips of the parties to ensure that the sequence for the members who should read the statements, I cannot determine the sequence, Honourable Members. That is a party issue. So the members who are then going to do the motions without notice should also then wait until we get to that point. May I ask for a statement from the ANC, please? The Honourable April.
Thank you, Chairperson. The ANC condemns the senseless killing of Coca brothers in Mpumalanga farm. We condemn the senseless killing of the 2 brothers, Zenzele and Amos Coca, at Pampoen Kraal farm in Mpumalanga on the 9th of April 2021. The siblings were part of a group of farm dwellers seeking employment as seasonal farm workers. It is claimed that tension began between them and the farm owner, which resulted in the tragic death of the brothers and an assault on a 3rd person. We commend the police for their quick response in arresting the alleged offenders, who have since appeared in the Piet Retief Magistrates Court. We are concerned by this constant killing of farm employees on farms, and we are urging the government to come up with measures to end these brutal farm attacks. We call for calm amongst the community members. The law should be allowed to take its course and ensure that those found guilty would face the full might of the law. We would like to send our heartfelt condolences to the Coca family in the passing of their loved ones. I thank you.
Thank you. The DA.
Residents of the city of Ekurhuleni are being subjected to the biggest waste crisis in the history of the city. We call on the Minister of Copta and the Minister of Environment and Fisheries to investigate the entire waste crisis enveloping the city. The problems associated with daily round collections, the closure of landfill sites, the non-payment of the private landfill sites, the vacancies in the department, the lack of proper supply chain, contract management, and the hollowing out of infrastructure and expertise. Just this year, it was announced that the SIU will be investigating allegations of corruption in the Ekurhuleni municipality with 24 million rand for a waste collection vehicle tender. Residents of the COE deserve to live in a healthy environment where Section 24 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa provides a mandate on the state to ensure environmental protection and ecologically sustainable development. The National Environmental Management Waste Act of 59 of 2008 aims to reform the law regulating waste management in order to protect health and the environment by providing reasonable measures for the prevention of pollution, ecological degradation, and for securing ecologically sustainable development.